Good evening, Throwdown Nation. Tonight is episode 2 of the Throwdown with Matt, and tonight my guest is the one and only top tier Drew Adler. How you doing, Drew?
You ever yelled at your dogs and they
What's
give
the
you that
dog?
one right there, then
Oh yeah,
they give you the little side eye like
oh yeah.
so let's go. I was gonna do a little circle in as the intro, but
Oh, you were gonna do like a Joe Hendry spin around?
yeah, I felt like my chair would have got caught on my desk, but
Gotcha.
dog side eye is going to be the one now, though. We'll do that from now on. What's going on?
Absolutely. Not a whole lot, man. Like I said before we went live, man. I had the pleasure of seeing you and Billy Brash mix it up at PWE this past weekend, man. It was good stuff.
Yeah,
Really had a blast. That was a great show.
Didn't know this, but you shouldn't get alcohol in your eyes, by the way.
No,
really burns.
Yeah, that's alcohol in the eyes is not good policy.
No.
So, and you just now figured that out?
I don't drink.
Well, yeah.
I don't drink, so I've never been like, hey, let me spill this alcohol.
Yeah, let me throw it in my eyes and see what happens.
I don't know why 2 and 2 didn't come together, but like, 'cause you put alcohol pad, oh, that hurts. But
yeah. Well, what can you do? So anyway, let's start with the first and most obvious question. What are you drinking there? Is that your special elixir that you had in the ring?
I might have brought my pre-workout because did a little driving this morning, so I'm a little tired. So you gotta do a little wakey.
You gotta have it. So Drew, how long have you been wrestling?
Oh hell. So it was like 15 years last year, but the anniversary is like August. It was July. 16 years. I've been wrestling 16 years.
Wow.
I forget people's birthday, by the way, if you didn't put that together.
Yeah. That happens, man. So, who trained you?
I was trained in the Middle Georgia area, Fort Valley, or like Byron. They got a real nice peach stand. I was trained by Marvelous Michael Stevens and NWA's Sour Naro.
Okay.
Good people. My heart. Dude, are they gonna see my left or my right? Let's see. It's hey, this is where my heart is. And they're right here.
Yep. Awesome.
I'm like the toddler that, they got a camera now. So I'm just going to make faces at it.
Hey, whatever works, man.
I'm reeling it back in.
That'll work. So, like I said, we're going to play a little bit of speed round, and basically I'm going to say something and you say the first thing that springs to your mind.
Matt, we're starting this now?
Yep. We are starting it now. Yeah, take a swig, because here we go.
Let's do it.
Paul Heyman.
Ick.
Okay.
Just sweaty. Yeah, just real sweaty.
Yeah, sweaty and kind of a little bit of the penguin vibe.
Yeah, that's just real greasy.
Yeah.
He's nice though. He's a nice person.
I'm sure. Maybe. Yeah. It depends. So at what point in your life, Drew, did you know that you wanted to do this? Was there a particular moment or is it you grew up loving, or what happened?
I didn't grow up on it, so to say,
Okay.
but there was 2004, and
Okay.
there was a SummerSlam, and me and my friends were hanging out, and one of them convinced their parents to buy the pay-per-view, and I wasn't really into wrestling, but they had a trampoline, and of course, we're kids,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
let's beat each other up on the trampoline.
Oh
So
yeah.
we ended up watching the pay-per-view, and Rey Mysterio and Big Show and Undertaker's real cool, and it was about that time.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It kind of just
Gotcha.
progressed from there.
So basically, you kind of cut your teeth on more or less ad hoc backyard wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I was a backyard wrestler for about like 4 or 5 years.
Gotcha.
Because I was probably about like 14. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's about like 4 years worth of just backyard wrestling. And be quite honest, I think I hurt myself more on that trampoline than I did in like wrestling in real rings.
Well, I'm sure. I mean, trampolines. A trampoline can be a dangerous place.
Those trampoline parks, to be honest, they're like chats in this, Matt.
Are there what?
Is
Chat?
there like a chat section?
Well, there
Okay.
anything that we get from YouTube or Twitter will actually appear on an interface, and I can actually put it up on the screen.
Oh,
Anything
okay.
on anything on Instagram, I have to actually sort of look elsewhere.
Gotcha.
Right now, we've got a couple people in the Instagram chat right now. My wife was commenting on your side eye, so.
Well, I was gonna say, I'm sure everybody could just put a little raise your hand emoji up for like getting hurt at a trampoline park.
Oh yeah.
Those liability waivers are
Yep.
ridiculous, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Like multiple pages worth.
You sign your life away.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like applying for a mortgage.
Yeah, you get on one of those things now, and like that first jump is like your whole back just.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna go to the bar.
Yep. So, away from wrestling, what are some of your other hobbies and interests?
So don't laugh, but
Okay.
no. No, me and the missus really like farming.
That's cool.
Yeah. I mean that started about like pandemic season, so we really just got into like growing our own stuff, and we're like most people kind of phased it out. I mean, we just kept going. So every year we'd add a couple garden beds, and we'd learn a little bit more about stuff. So yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, some watermelons and corns and zucchinis.
Yeah.
The corn isn't working right now, but and I can't pick a watermelon to save my life because they're either like just done or they're like white on the inside.
Yeah.
Aggravating.
Can't find the happy medium, huh?
Nope. And I got a nice bass thump too. Like I promise, I'm thumping that thing. I was like, that's a good sound. That's a good sound. No, it isn't.
Yeah. Well, so speed round.
Oh yeah.
Harley race.
Gun.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he started blasting. What? Oh man, I said like this. So we were still backyard wrestling, and we had actually bought a high spots ring, so we could backyard professionally.
Yeah.
And the guy that delivered us was actually telling us about Harley race, and we're like, sure, whatever. Like, just give us the ring. And he was telling us, like, well, why don't you go ahead and take your first bump too? Like, what's that? Listen, man, we're just trying to jump off the top rope. All right, we don't really care about Harley race and bumping. So, I'm gonna have to ask my brother about that now. I'm gonna see if he remembers like what he told us. He probably does.
Do you think what he was telling you was true, or was he just making stuff up?
Well, here's the thing about wrestling, Matt. So,
Yeah.
There's a lot of fluff, no pun intended,
Mm-hmm.
not Cody fluff, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of fluff.
Oh, yeah.
That people just, oh, well, it was like a 10-minute match. Oh, we went 30 minutes. Oh,
Yeah.
Hey, they were hanging from the rafters. There weren't even rafters in the building. You
Yeah.
didn't burn the barn down.
No.
None of this actually happened. I mean,
there's kernels of truth.
Yes.
But things get extrapolated quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. The volume gets turned up a lot in wrestling, and sometimes it's not 11. It's like a 4.
Right.
He did pull that gun on that person, though. I fully hold on to the building.
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard the Harley race and gun story. So.
I was like, oh, this happened.
Yeah.
This definitely happened.
Yeah. But to what extent it happened, who knows?
Yeah.
But anyway, so is wrestling a full-time thing for you, or do you have a day job? I mean, I know that, your thing says you do personal training and some massage therapy, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, wrestling's about like the most job it's been for me. Like now than it has been like the whole like 16 years that I've been wrestling. Which is nice to actually make a couple bucks doing.
Oh yeah.
Hurting your body like this. But yeah, I mean, me and the missus have our own business. We're both certified orthopedic massage therapists. So, yeah, we have our own business in town, and we do all that stuff along with the corrective exercise for the personal training. So,
well, that is really cool. Because it's nice to have something that kind of relates to. It's good to have side ventures that relate to your main thing.
Yeah, it was definitely one of those things that we felt we really just wanted to help athletes. So like our business name is Sportins Injury Bodyworks. So I mean, we wholeheartedly cater towards like our ideal person being athletic or, having the right mindset. So.
Gotcha. Does your wife wrestle, or has she ever wrestled or anything like that? Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. She supports me, but she ain't about it.
Yeah. She's not stepping in the ring.
Smarter than me.
The wives usually are.
Yes. 100%.
I know mine is.
Just in case. I was like, I feel like she's going to walk in right now. That's start putting her over a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what is your hometown, Drew?
Well, currently I live in Augusta, Georgia.
Oh, okay.
I live in Harlem, Georgia. Raise up.
Gotcha.
There's a street light, but for people that don't know where that is, it's Augusta.
Yeah.
But my hometown, I lived in Hinesville. That's where I grew up. Hinesville, Georgia, outside of Fort Stewart, which is below Savannah for people that aren't, geography.
From Georgia. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is your favorite thing about the Augusta area?
Oh, for me, it's really just being alone. Like I like where we are. We're out in the countryside. We got a garden. All right.
Yeah.
Garden and chickens. So, yeah, I mean, it's quiet. It's cool to go visit the city. I mean, I love the Lake Thurmond. I love going out to the lake. I love the river walk. But yeah, I mean, just honestly, I like quiet.
I get you. Where we live, we're kind of right where suburbia meets rural.
Yeah.
And we're far enough out from Atlanta to where we're away from it, but we're close enough where if we want to enjoy the amenities of a big city, we've got that too. So it's kind of the best of all
Bingo.
worlds.
Yeah.
So,
No, that's 100% where I'm at, because
yeah.
I like to be able to check in, but I like to be able to leave the party early if I want to, so to say.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So, speed round. Tony Khan.
Thank you. It's my paycheck. I appreciate that.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
No, never got to meet him in person. So, I mean, I really don't have too many opinions, but my good friend Anthony Henry has a nice job, and Tony Khan just hired him back. So, thank you, Tony, for his paycheck too.
Absolutely. Yeah. He and JD Drake, the workhorseman. Yeah.
Yeah.
They are actually an underrated tag team.
I feel like the people around here in Augusta, in Georgia too, they know Anthony and Drake are just phenomenal wrestlers. But there's just that mainstream audience, people that don't really go to independent wrestling shows. They don't know.
Right.
But I mean, they literally came out with that T-shirt about his jaw breaking. And I mean, that was their number 2 merch seller behind Mercedes Moné.
Yeah.
So I think that speaks volumes.
It does. It does. Absolutely. So
don't work them though, because they'll murder you.
Oh, I'm sure.
Don't wrestle them.
I'm sure.
I have to say that if Anthony's watching, or Drake. So,
Yeah.
Don't kill me, y'all.
So, they say that the best wrestling personas are basically yourself turned up to 11. And with that being in mind, tell me a bit about top tier Drew Adler and compare and contrast him with everyday Drew Adler at home sitting around with your wife.
I don't know. Could you hear the air blow? So the word is tact, and I work in the healthcare profession, so I have to have that filter or that tact. And me wrestling for this long, I try and mentor a little bit more. So I gotta be good about the way I go about things. Where younger me was very emotionally driven. Big words. We're using the nice big words today. I was emotionally driven, and top tier is me taking that little filter out and just letting it rip. There's no good guy, bad guy. It's just me. You come up to the merch table, I'm gonna say something sarcastic, and you'll smile at me and you'll think it's funny, but I'm really digging at you.
Yeah.
And so I just pull that filter out. I don't have tact, and it's real fun.
I can tell. I could tell that you were, seeing you this past weekend. I could tell you were really enjoying your work.
Oh yeah.
And being able to take the filter out and do that is a catharsis. I'm sure, it sort of lets you let the animal off his chain, so to speak.
Yeah, you got to let the dog run every once in a while.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So speed round, AJ Styles.
I was about to say that's 4 words, but it was get ready to fly. Oh, I can't say the first word because that's cancel culture, but we're going not. So yeah, I was next, please.
Okay. Bray Wyatt.
R.I.P.
Yeah. He was.
I should have said run. That.
Yeah. Well, he was ahead of his time
Yeah.
in a lot of ways, and I'm enjoying what they're doing now with the Wyatt Six. I'm hoping. I'm interested to see where it's going and what the payoff is going to be. But if nothing else, I feel like it's cathartic for Taylor to kind of get to do this and pay tribute to his brother. So
yeah, I know they got like a good group of people in there, and I know like some people might not really vibe with everybody in the group, but I mean everybody's really solid, and giving them that chance, I'm sure they can make it happen.
Yeah, I mean, the one that I'm really the most intrigued to see is I'm interested to see what Sam Shaw is going to do. Because he had that whole run as Dexter Lumis in NXT and was doing great work. But when he came up to Maine, he didn't really seem. It seemed like they didn't really know quite what to do with him. So I think this is a good chance for him to shine, and I hope he does because he's a talented guy.
Oh yeah, no, I loved him in TNA and I mean NXT. Like I thought he did great. And I mean he's Southeast, so he's a pretty local one too. So
yeah,
it's always nice to see like people here.
Coming
up.
Yes, see the local boys make good.
Yeah.
So tell me about your first match, if you can remember back that far.
Concussions.
Yes.
All right, so we might have been training for like a couple months, maybe off and on, like not even really, if you could call it like real training. It was more on the job training at that point. So we had just went out to Savannah, maybe like Jekyll or something, and my sister's boyfriend at the time had just gotten jet skis, so let's go ride some jet skis. So we went on these jet skis. I think I tore up my foot trying to load this thing back up, and that's when I got the call. It's like, hey, we need you here Friday to wrestle this match. I was like, I've got my foot tore up, so I don't think I can make it. And they're like, well, that's not an option, so you get up here and we're going to work around it. So it was a tag match. What can you expect? We might have done like we did this weird thing where I did a moonsault onto somebody from like a German suplex.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. First match.
I'm trying to visualize that.
Yep. Like, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
But we did that. And that was my first match and healed my little ankle up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing crazy though. I mean, just German suplex moonsault.
Well, it's memorable.
Yeah. But I did learn a really good lesson about getting over it. Because it's the way wrestling is, like you're going to have little owies and scrapes and things like that, but you got to wrestle tomorrow or you got to wrestle later on today. And unless you're seriously hurt, just get over it.
Yep.
Work around it.
Yep. They'll just give you a towel to bite on and you're on to the next one.
You'll have to drive back still. So,
Yeah. Yeah, there is that. So let's see. Speed round. Samoa Joe.
I blinked. Yep. Nothing hit.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so
first thing that really came was just his music. The dun dun dun.
Yeah.
Not even the ROH music. The WWE one.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why?
Don't know. So we found out about your first match. Tell us now, Drew, about your favorite match that you've been a part of.
Okay, so this one's easy.
Okay.
I worked a T-bar in like 2016 or like Donovan Dijak.
Yeah.
So we did like 2 matches back to back of this promotion. And those were just the matches, man. That was hot. And that was really like the stepping, like the elevation for me.
Mm-hmm.
It was like getting to, go to toe to toe with him and really just understand what it takes to be like relevant in like the wrestling scene back then. That was like instrumental.
Oh yeah.
We ended up calling it. Like we had talked about the match, and then we talked about it again, and then we just kept like adding stuff and layering stuff, and like we called it for 3 hours. And most people are just like, hey, we'll just go out there and we'll figure it out and have fun. And no, we talked about it. We talked about everything. We had backup plans. The whole shebang. Like anything could have gone wrong, we had a plan for it.
Yeah. Backup plans and backup for the backup and all that good stuff. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, he is a talented guy, and I'm going to be interested to see where he ends up now. Because he just, I mean, my hope would be that he could possibly end up at AEW, and if they can ever get Keith Lee healthy, those two have great chemistry, and that they have put on some great matches together. And I'd love to see those two tie it up again, because man, they really play off of each other very well. So
yeah,
but I'm at this point I'm a little concerned about Keith Lee. I mean, he just can't seem to stay healthy. I know he's had a lot of issues with COVID and other stuff going on too. So it's
I mean it's a real shame. Because I mean he's one of those like super talented guys too, but
oh yeah,
it is what it is.
Yeah. Yep. So let's see here. Okay, speed round. Paul Levesque.
His music just popped in my head. I'm sorry, I'm terrible with like words, but
yeah.
Hey, crazy on a guy that loves music. Like I'm very like I just kind of went like this in my head and just heard his music. Motorhead.
Yep.
And oh man, what was the Tough Enough? Like those first like couple of seasons, just him like getting all these kids like piss their pants, Liz.
Yeah. Yeah, he has, in my mind, really, he had a reputation, whether fully deserved or not. When he was active in the ring, he had a reputation as a politician who liked to bury a lot of people. But I mean, whether, like you said, there's kernels of truth and a lot of stuff gets blown out of proportion. But, if there was truth to that, I do feel like he has definitely redeemed himself and has really matured into the role of, leading WWE now that they finally got rid of Vince. So,
Well, you don't get very far in wrestling if people don't like you.
Right.
Whether that be the fans or the workers in the
boys,
back.
yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, that really just, especially with what Anthony Henry just went through, like with him being let go and then rehired.
Yeah.
I mean, I was there when he got the call, and for him to go from that to being hired back right on a couple days later, that was a testament to Anthony, and I think this rings true for Triple H in that regard. If you're not good enough, nobody likes you. None of the workers want to work with you. But if you're great, everybody wants to be with you, and everybody's going to have your back. So
Absolutely.
You do a little politician, or you do a little politic, and that's fine. But you look at his selling. Triple H is, oh boy, that was some monster selling.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, let me work Triple H. Hell.
Some of it, sometimes he sold to the point that there was actually a comedic element to it, but I mean, he knew how to balance the overselling with the appropriate selling to where I mean, it was he was a lot of fun to watch. So.
I mean, that goes along with like music too. Like there's like the gear shift.
Oh yeah.
Like especially like you get into like a really good bridge, and then everything's just different. Or if it's like a metal breakdown.
Yeah, breakdown.
Like, that's it's cool to have a little little warm up, a little gaga, a little ha ha, a little comedy. But when it's time to go, like, hey, WrestleMania, but hey, all serious.
Absolutely.
And Triple H brought that really well.
Yeah, he did. So if you can narrow it down to one or two little anecdotes, Drew, what have been some of the most interesting or unusual experiences you've had wrestling?
Wrestled a donut.
Really? What kind of donut?
Just nice pink frosted sprinkled donut. Just
well, tell the story.
I don't know if I feel like it. No.
Okay.
No, Anthony, we were riding up together at one point. It was for the guy that books CZW, DJ Hyde.
Yeah.
He was running an off-brand show. I want to say it was like Rhode Island, maybe. It's one of those northern states. They all blend together. I'm gonna take that one back. Let's just go ahead and redact that one from the. Yeah, so all those northern states blending together, but yeah, so we just got put in a tag match, and they're like, "Hey, well, this person's gonna be dressed up as a donut." Like, huh?
Cool.
So we just beat the crap out of this donut.
Nice.
But he's like, so it was a 6-man tag, and there's 2 donuts and DJ Hyde, and then there's like 3 of us. But we're just regular wrestlers, so like, and I'm pretty sure I knocked out one of those jelly donuts. Like booted that kid right in the face. Like, I'm sorry, bud, if he's listening or watching. I felt bad.
So you really nailed him, huh?
Oh, I plowed him. Like he came right off the ropes, just. Do you know who Yaya is, or the gifted one? He's from like Charlotte.
No.
Me and him were a team, and he was there. He can confirm. I just pulled my phone up. I hate technology. Yeah, he can confirm.
Okay.
I love seeing him actually, because we always talk about this. Sorry, I'm gonna ramble. So you just I'm gonna cut back.
No. This is great. This is great stuff, man. So what has been your strangest or most unusual encounter with a fan?
I feel like I've been pretty privileged to not have any like super crazy things happen.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've had like people stop me at the grocery store. In one instance where we like talked for 30 minutes and it's like, hey man, this stuff's melting.
Yeah.
Can I leave, please?
Go.
Like I'd really like to just go home and put my groceries up.
Yeah.
Your stuff's melting.
But you haven't had like any psychotic fans or stalkers or anything like that?
No. I did have
That's
someone
good.
touch my butt one time, but they were pretty intoxicated.
Male or female?
Lady.
Ah.
It was a little weird. Like,
yeah. Yeah, that's kind of crossing some boundaries that, don't need to be crossed. So
yeah, I'm very, just don't touch me.
Yeah. I get it. I get it. So as far as your wrestling style and such goes, who would you say would be some of your influences?
Colt Cabana. It's probably a really good one to say because just the comedy side. I really like the I like the wrestling that kind of like have fun. But how I alluded to with like Triple H is just the gear shift. So I like to have variety. And I like to be able to turn it up when I can. So Colt Cabana is one of those that just really, really, really nice. And there's like a British wrestler called Les Kellett. Does like some really hilarious like comedy wrestling for like the World of Sport days. Which that was a little bit different than now, but
right.
And honestly, Anthony, you can't like not hang out with somebody like that and then not be influenced by him.
Right. When you spend enough time with somebody, stuff's going to rub off. So
yeah. And again, Anthony's just so good.
And they say iron sharpens iron too. So
yeah. Well, he's sharp.
Yeah.
I didn't mean for this to turn into the put over Anthony session, but yeah, I mean, when it comes to like putting matches together, making stuff look believable, actually, they just booked him for the next Phoenix show.
Oh, cool. Oh, yeah. I saw I saw that on the Instagram today. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're in the area, you should come out to that show. I ain't wrestling him, but you should come out. Not me.
Gotcha.
he ain't gonna fight me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Please don't book that. Please don't book that, James. If he's watching, please don't book that, James. I don't want to fight Anthony.
Yeah, because he'll kill you, right?
I hope nicely.
Yeah, he will kill you in the most loving way possible.
All honesty, that place isn't ready for Anthony. They're gonna lose it.
Yeah,
he's gonna kick that first person, whoever it is, and they're gonna be like, "Wow, there's a firework that just went off in this place."
Yep. That's gonna be some good stuff. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it out because that's my son's first week of school. But I may try to get out for it though. I mean, it'll definitely be a good time, and I'd love to meet Anthony. So,
he's a wild one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, speed round. Kenny Omega.
I just did the gun compartment. Oh yeah, did you know you were gonna get double guns? Did you? Gun compartment.
Yeah. Bang and good night.
Yeah. I'm glad he got healthy again.
Yeah, yeah. He's apparently had surgery for the diverticulitis, and I can identify with that. I got diagnosed with that about 7 years ago, and
Ugh.
strangely enough, they say it's usually a very painful condition. I never had any pain with it.
Yeah.
I discovered I had it kind of by accident and ended up having to have surgery for it. But it's been 7 years and I'm doing fine with it. I had to make some dietary changes and such, but
Yeah.
they say a lot of it actually is more genetic than necessarily dietary. So
Yeah. What did they want you to cut out?
They said to basically work toward a lower fat, higher fiber diet. So I've made some dietary changes and I take fiber supplements and that kind of thing, but it's yeah, I mean it can be a very serious condition, and thankfully mine got caught before it progressed any further. Yeah, I ended up having to have about, I guess, 3 feet of my intestine removed, but
Did they have to do like a big incision, or was it just like 2 little scopies, or?
well, actually, if you look at my stomach now, it looks like the 5 side of a dice. It's basically I've got 5 dots. They did it with laparoscopy, and the surgeon was great. He has since retired, but man, I can totally put Dr. Stephen Quill over. Man, he was just amazing. And I hope he's having a wonderful retirement. He was a great guy.
Yeah.
So
It's great that they don't have to, in most cases, just do the big split.
Yeah.
Because that's just ridiculous. Much scar tissue and
and greater chance of infection and all kinds of stuff associated with the larger incisions too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's and thankfully, I mean, when I went into surgery, he said he was pretty confident that I wouldn't be needing a colostomy bag or anything, and thankfully it worked out that way. But but it's all good, and like I said, 7 years later, knock on wood, everything's good. So, but so let's see here. So, do you have an all-time favorite match as a fan that you really enjoyed, and that it may be one of those matches that never gets old, that you can go back and rewatch and still glean something that you didn't notice before?
Yeah, no, the WrestleMania 20, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and
Benoit. Yeah.
Yeah. It was Benoit.
Yeah.
You just can't cancel me if I cover my face. So.
The way, I mean, what happened with Benoit was awful, but I can actually separate the work that Benoit did from the man that Benoit ended up being.
Yeah.
And I'm not absolving him of what he did at all. Because I mean, ultimately it was his choice to commit those acts, but he was a very sick man. I mean, he had a lot of stuff going on. But I can separate Benoit's body of work from the man himself. I mean, he ranks still among my favorites. I mean, I love watching Benoit wrestle.
Yeah, and I feel like we've gotten a lot better from back then, with the amount of knowledge that's come out about concussions and CTEs, and we actually have like protocols in place. I mean, are they perfect? No, but it's a lot better than what it was.
Right. Chris Nowinski, God bless his soul. I mean, he has really been a game changer for the industry in concussion management and it's so if anything good came out of the whole Benoit thing, it was starting to take concussions much more seriously. They had to.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, that three-way with Hunter, Sean, and Benoit. Yeah,
spicy.
Yeah, that was a good one for sure. Absolutely. That ranks high among my favorites as well.
Yeah, like Undertaker's like my all-time favorite, but that match is just like peak wrestling.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and this includes present day or past. Who would be your dream opponent? Who would you love to work?
Oh. Harley Race. No, I'm just
get the gun out.
Just a big old shootout. No, probably well, that's tough. Well, it's a tough one. No, Bryan Danielson would be super, super cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'd be blessed. I'd be blessed with that.
Yeah. I haven't trained in probably 10 years, but about 10 years ago, I was actively training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and man, I would love to roll with Bryan Danielson, because I think he's a purple belt at least. Really? And I mean, I would, I'd be getting submitted left and right. I know, but man, I would love to roll with him, him or Kyle O'Reilly. He's another wrestler who's also a jiu-jitsu guy, and but yeah, I could definitely see Danielson being a dream opponent for anybody, really. I mean,
yeah. Well, I mean, like, Undertaker all-time favorite.
Yeah.
So I mean, I feel like that one's just, let me wrestle Undertaker. Hell, I'll do that any day. But yeah, Bryan Danielson's probably the one though.
Yeah. Present day, I mean, if I were a wrestler, present day, I would probably want to hook it up with Ospreay.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he's another very talented guy.
Yeah. Actually, I need to throw in one.
Okay.
Brooks Jensen from NXT.
Oh yeah.
Bull Buchanan's kid. So Bull was kind of like my mentor for like a long time, and his kid had gotten into wrestling when I pretty much like stopped doing the shows around him, and Bull already retired. So I just feel like it'd be like fun to work his kid.
Yeah, I could see that. It would be really kind of a chance to pay it forward.
Yeah.
He mentored you, so you could work his kid and see what the kid's got, and the kid could see what you have to offer as well. So
yeah,
I could.
Yeah, Bull was one of those people that like really helped me understand like being tall. I'm 6'4", so unfortunately the school system sucks because they have these stupid desks that you end up slouching forward on. So I became like 6 feet tall, and he was really the one that told me like how to, stand up in the ring and be as tall as you can be. So I always appreciate that.
Gotcha.
Not the school system, but the.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm 5'5". I was never anywhere close to being tall enough to even consider a career in wrestling, especially back when I was growing up, back in the mid 80s. It was the land of the giants.
Yeah.
And I mean now, you see a lot of the smaller, really athletic guys really having great careers in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And it's exciting to watch, especially if you're a smaller guy yourself. Actually seeing some of these less physically imposing guys really having a great run with it. I enjoyed, again, back at the PWE show, I was enjoying watching Florida Man. He was a character.
He's a character, all right. Bless him, as we say in the South.
Yep. Bless his heart.
You've been blessed. Like and subscribe in the next 7 minutes.
So, go ahead.
No, I was going to ramble about being tall.
No, go for it. Go for it.
No, well, you go to like the major companies and you'd see just I'm 6'4", but
Yeah.
I mean I'm either looking people in the eye or looking up at them. So
yeah,
like I'm an average human being there. It's not. Yeah. But thankfully they do let a lot of the like smaller guys wrestle now, which I mean you look at like Chad Gable or like Finn Balor and all those other people. I mean those just having like killer matches, and they're actually lasting a lot longer because they don't have as much weight behind them, so they're not getting as injured. So, and that's like the extra benefit as long as you give them a chance to do it. Now, Florida Man gonna get hurt, but this bless him.
Exactly. Yep. So I think you've already kind of answered this question, but I'll pose it anyway, and that is, have you had a chance to meet any of your heroes?
So there was a company called PWX, and they ran out of Charlotte.
Yeah.
And it might have been like 2018, 2019. They had just booked a show called Battlefield X. It was a Rumble show. Mm-hmm. And they like to book some characters every now and then, and get some high profile names on there. Real cool. So they had like the talent meeting, and that, well, guys, I know like he's done like a couple shows around here, but I just wanted to say like we got Shane Helms here, and he's gonna be in the Rumble for us. I know a lot of you already know him. I'm the only one ecstatic because like this is North Carolina. Everybody's like wrestling him before, but this is like my first time. I was losing it. And of course, everybody was like, "Oh yeah, Drew will take this stuff." So I got to take the Hurrah-Slam. I got to take the Final Cut, which he did not like me calling it the Final Cut, but no. But I'm like, whoa, like, yeah, yeah. Hurricane.
Yeah,
that was the one. I love telling that story too because we were like, "Really, Hurricane?" I was like, "Yes."
I have heard he is a good dude.
Yeah, he was real nice.
Yeah. So I was actually just glancing over at the Instagram chat, and my son is actually in the chat now, and he was mentioning, he was at the PWE show with me, and he said he loves your character. So
I appreciate it. I work real hard on it. No, I work.
Nah. So, what hurts right now?
My pride Nah, put the filter back in. My hips a little bit. My neck's not super bad, but I mean, with the work that we do, we're smart enough to, help ourselves, so to say. But I mean, I go to the chiropractor every single week, so that helps out a lot. My hips tend to rotate and be funky.
Yeah.
So, yeah, really just like the hips. They don't lie.
No,
they don't lie, man.
No.
Anybody can finish the lyrics in the comment section. I'd be quite impressed.
There's a challenge.
Ooh, baby, when you talk like that.
So how did you get into doing personal training and massage therapy? What's the origin story on that?
So I met the better half of my life, and I'd been wrestling for at least like 12 years at that point, since we've been together about 6. And my body was starting to hurt real bad, and she had just gotten into the orthopedic massage work. And I had kind of like realized I just couldn't functionally move as well as I needed to wrestle. So like she had tried to help me out. I got a little bit better, but ended up having like some bone spurs, like osteophytes in my hips. So we ended up doing like some arthroscopies back in like 2020, right before the pandemic too. So I did both my left and my right. Came back after like 3 months. But that was kind of the thing, because we just rehabbed myself. So like we did all that work, and I mean, it was a real testament to be back in the ring like 3 months, and then like actively going to training and bumping and moving around, and then going to my last doctor's appointment, and they're like, well, yeah, you're cleared to wrestle. So, you can go back to doing that whenever you want. And I'm like, Doc, I've kind of already been doing that.
So you rather than getting cleared, you cleared yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you got away with it.
Well, we did it safely. Like, it was like, all right, I'm going to try a bump. We'll just see how it goes. And I was like, not too bad. Now, a roll, doing just a little front roll or something, that first time back, your whole equilibrium, I will just, that sucked. But, I mean, I took it safe. I did the first bump. It was good. And I took it easy. And I rehabbed myself. Like, I had full range of motion, internal rotation of the hips. It was great.
Very cool. Very cool. So, what are your thoughts in general on the current state of the industry?
There's so much opportunity out there right now, and it's just great to see.
It is.
We got good, healthy competition going on. The fans are a little toxic sometimes, but you just avoid that, and it's all good. No, I mean, there's plenty of places to work, and you can make a couple bucks if you really want to. And I mean, this is a really good time to, if you have goals in wrestling, you can probably achieve them.
Yeah. The thing that bothers me, and you sort of touched on it about the toxicity with the fans, there is a lot of tribalism. There are a lot of people that are, strictly a WWE fan, strictly an AEW fan. I love all of it, and I like it all for different reasons. And, the tribalism, I just feel like doesn't really accomplish much of anything. If you don't like it, don't watch it. I mean, but don't run down people that like what you don't like, or because the more, like you were saying, the more successful companies there are, the greater the opportunity for, like you said, people to make a buck doing this. And, it's just a rising tide lifts all ships.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, we've got, hell, TNA's doing good right now.
Oh, yeah. TNA's off the chain.
Yeah. Like, they're crushing it. We got working partnerships, like going across brands. Like, that's like, what's not to like?
It's starting to feel in some ways almost like the old territory days, and the stuff that is happening now would never have happened under Vince. I mean, Vince, I will never put the man down for the contributions he made to the business, but he lost touch.
Yeah.
In my view. And, and he didn't change with changing times. And, and toward the end, it really showed.
Yep.
So, but anyway, I'll get off my soapbox on that.
No, Bud, that's a soapbox that honestly needs to be shared, because, if you're that bored that you feel like, hey, this will just make me feel a little bit better, that I need to like just poop on other people, then like, hey man, you can talk about like low attendance numbers and all that stuff. They're making money, and they're making good money.
Exactly.
So why don't you go get you a job over there, eat some delicious catering, and then go check the show out yourself, because you're just watching it on TV.
Yep. One thing I would like to say, if you're watching over on Instagram, we're at about an hour. I think sometimes there's time limits on the streams on Instagram. So if the Instagram feed shuts down, pop over to my YouTube and it'll still be going. So
I told you I'm a rambler.
Oh, man, I'm having a blast with this. It's just fun to nerd out about this stuff and just pick your brain and go down rabbit holes. So I mean, this is good stuff.
Allman Brothers, baby, rambling man. Let's go.
Yeah.
So hold on. I'm sorry. We're at one of these PWE shows, and I had to do a gauntlet match because James Hunter hates me. And like, I finished this first match, and he didn't tell me it was a gauntlet match. So I'm like, all right, man, I got Allman Brothers tickets, man. I'll see you later. All right, carry on. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. So knowing everything you know now, Drew, if you could give any advice to your younger self, what would it be?
Have fun. Yeah. Because I don't know, I think that really like held me back. Not that I'm like regretting, decisions that I made, but if I would have just like had more fun while still being focused, I would have had like my mind straight. I think I was doing things for the wrong reasons. It was like I really needed like that chip on my shoulder to be motivated and just have more fun. And take care of yourself better. Like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah.
Like, why are you flipping off things?
Yeah.
don't do that spot, Drew.
Don't do Drew, that trampoline stuff.
Why are you flipping out of the ring, Drew? Like this?
Because it's there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why did I flip out of the ring?
Like I said, it was there.
Yeah. Hey, I got a spot.
It seemed like a good idea at the time.
It didn't then either. It was stupid, real dumb.
Well, So, do you have any advice for young people that might be looking to try to break into the business?
Yeah. You need to take care of yourself You need to learn about concussions and concussion protocols, because there's a lot of stuff you can just do by yourself, and manage things and learn about the symptoms of concussions. Because if you're wanting to break into this business, you're going to get one at some point. Wrestling's not smart. I tell people that all the time and they laugh, and then I put the filter back in and I was like, well, yeah, it's not dumb.
Yeah.
It's not smart either. Like you could be a smart person and do this dumb thing. So
yeah,
please take care of yourself and just know what you want to do too.
Yeah.
With wrestling.
Wise words from a grizzled veteran.
I'm grizzly. Am I a veteran?
Well, I mean, you've been doing this 16 years, you said. I think that makes you a veteran.
I don't know.
Well, you're not a rookie.
Definitely not a rookie.
Yeah.
But still paying my dues.
Well, you know, in life, you pay your dues till the day you die.
Mm-hmm.
In one way or another.
We talking about taxes or?
Well, you know, taxes, attitude, life,
onions, layers.
Absolutely. So, you know, speaking of concussions, do you have a favorite move or a move that you won't do?
So is there like a move that I do or that I really enjoy?
Is there one that you do that you really enjoy? And is there one that you won't do? Like I know a lot of places, for instance, have banned the vertebraker because too many people were getting hurt doing it, you know? So, yes, do you have a favorite and do you have one that you just won't do?
My favorite is, the spinning backbreaker that I do. I didn't do it to Billy, but, so I would like catch him in like a crossbody kind of sort of, and I'd swing him around and I'd spin him just onto my knee. That's probably my favorite, just because I don't do it right away most of the time. I'll spin with it and I'll just see how long I can spin. And yeah, so like eventually, boom, I'll do the backbreaker, and then the one that I won't do anymore will be the front flip, landing my feet outside of the ring.
Gotcha.
Like the, like Ricochet did the jump out of the ring, the flip, then land on the ground.
Yeah.
So I did that first. He didn't like take it. I'm sure he was doing it at the same time, but but yeah, I did it, and I did it a lot, and I don't think that helped my hips at all.
Probably not. No, because outside the ring, there's not a lot of cushion. You know, even if they've got those little thin cushions down, it's not gonna cushion much when you're doing something like that, I'm sure.
Yeah, so I won't do that anymore.
So, well,
we'll see. I might do. I'll do.
Yeah. So, something else that that I've done in a lot of my music-oriented live streams is I have let the person that I'm talking to pose a question for the next guest. And actually, my next guest for the Throwdown is tomorrow at a special early time of 4 o'clock. I'm actually doing a live stream chat with Asher Rain. I don't know if you know him.
Okay. Yeah.
So do you have a question you would like to pose to him? And in turn, he'll answer your question and then he'll get to pose one for the next one. So
I'm debating on whether it should just be what's like the hardest part about wrestling to him.
Okay.
or like how he feels that like wrestling translates over to like music.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I answered that question myself, because I help a lot of like young kids out, but I mean, music and like wrestling are very, very similar, and they can be when the wrestling's done right.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'd love to hear what like other people thought.
I will. I'll actually pose both of those to him.
Yeah.
So.
If you could like auto correct it a little bit, because I feel like I did a terrible job of asking the actual question, but
I'll auto correct for you.
You get what I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we're getting toward the end of things, Drew. Do you have any upcoming shows or any stuff you would like to hype?
Well, I'm a hype guy. Like I should hype things.
Yeah.
No,
be the hype man.
No, I mean definitely like just Phoenix Wrestling Experience. They've been so good to me, and James Hunter. It's just been so refreshing for me, like wrestling, and he's just a good human being. And I mean, I just met him last year, like right before he started these shows, and he's just been good to us, and he lets us come over and talk to him and give him feedback. And these shows are just really good in general. It's just a breath of fresh air because it's not typical wrestling. You get to have fun. I mean, we got to see Eyeliner.
Yeah.
I didn't know who they were, but their whole set was just amazing.
Oh, it was. Zach, my son, and I were really enjoying, kind of the back and forth between the wrestling and the music, because we're both fans of both, and and sort of having almost a multimedia type experience was just really neat.
Yeah, well, they do Fest Wrestling down in Gainesville, Florida. But yeah, I mean that's like 7 hours from here. And I feel like that was like the closest thing to that, because Fest is really just it's a whole punk pop like festival, a couple days, and they'll wrestle like 2 or 3 days out of that. So it's a good mix.
Absolutely. I'm looking over at the Instagram tab. Not much is going on in the chat over there, but anyway, Drew, thank you for your time. This has absolutely been a blast. I've really enjoyed this. I've enjoyed getting to know you. I've enjoyed nerding out about wrestling. Your opinion on James Hunter, man, I can't agree with you more. He was my first wrestling related guest on this, and I couldn't have had a better first guest.
Yeah,
I mean, he is quite a man, and it was nice to get to meet him in person this past Saturday at the PWE show. And he's sort of put me in touch with some additional folks. I've actually got I guess DM'd with a few of the other folks from the show, and everybody's interested. It's just a matter of getting things scheduled. Like I've been talking with Damian Malice and and Dre the Goat and actually Florida Man's interested. He's probably going to be coming on.
You just got to veto that. Us.
So yeah, it's going to be. Yeah.
If you get Florida Man or Dre the Goat on, all right, you got to ask this question for me.
Okay.
What were y'all thinking? What were y'all thinking?
Okay.
Just.
But anyway, in all seriousness, Drew, thank you. This has really been a lot of fun. And, for those of you that are watching live, thank you for watching. For those of you that are going to see this on a replay, thank you for that. If you like what we're doing, definitely spread the word. This thing is really starting to kind of take on a life of its own. And I'm just having a blast doing these. I've gotten to meet some of the coolest people, and you definitely rank high on that list, Drew. So thank you.
I like to think I'm second on the list. Well, who's everybody else? I messed my own joke up.
No.
See, I knocked my own phone over. Knocked my own phone over.
Oh man.
There's signs. There's signs in this world saying wrap it up. And I'm going to shut up now. Say thank you.
Well, thank you, Drew. And everybody have a good night. Be safe. And I'll be back tomorrow at 4:00 with Asher Rain. So.
Namaste. Namaste.
Namaste right here.
Hello, my lady. Hello, my darling. Hello, my Clementine.